Haunted Mines, another best of 5, and we have the GTFOs against Disgusting. I'm telling you, I think this group is going to get pretty sweet. We have 3 teams likely that will fight for the top 2 spots to make it out of the group. Now, obviously, this is the warm-up for Meta Madness, right? So it's all about getting into the playoffs, but for the group we have our warm-up, and that means that we have 10 heroes that are completely banned for the group stage. There will be more heroes banned for the playoffs. So again, this is the warm-up, and every single hero can only be played 1 time. So every hero that gets played on map number 1 or map number 2 cannot be played again in following maps. Haunted Mines, our starting map right now. And let's see what the GTFOs can do. Now, we had 1 best of 5 series already in this group, and the GTFOs were able to win against Team Madness. Disgusting is in the group, and the Vinland Raiders are also in the group. So it's gonna get really interesting very quickly here, because currently, just from a first look at the group, it really seems that Team Madness is going to be the team that will very likely struggle the most and is going to have a bit of a hard time here. I mean, again, surprises can happen, and I'm all here for it. They got close to winning fairly in pretty much every single game against GTFOs, but at the end it just seemed that the blue team was a little bit too strong. But it puts now the team on the left in a position where if they take a victory against Disgusting, that would already be a very, very big step to get out of the group. So this is a really, really important match for them right now. Whereas for Disgusting, of course, a victory in their first best of 5 would already go a long way here. Sylvanas gets banned, no real surprise there. She is very likely going to be a bit of a perma-ban, but in Haunted Mines in particular, she is incredibly strong, since when the opponent moves into the mines and tries to go for skulls, you can simply keep her at the top, push, and try and get real structural damage done while the opponent is playing the objective. And you want to shut that down, so Sylvanas is banned. Ultha also banned, so they're targeting supports pretty heavily here. Yeah? Supports are attacked quickly, and there is Urel again as a first pick. I talked in the previous series about how it surprised me that Urel was not picked more often, and someone confirmed, Dysfunctional is the name of the Twitch user that has helped a lot with keeping a lot of the stats together and all of this stuff. As my camera tries to act up a little bit. We're going to fix that in a moment. But yeah, so he actually has pointed out that that we had Urel picked 8 times, which is not a whole lot if you think about how many games, how many best of 5s were already played. So it was pretty interesting to see that and see them confirm that Urel is not really all that popular in the group stage now. Given that we have 10 heroes permabanned already, this is quite the surprise. But he or she gets picked again very early, which is exactly what should happen. We have Junkrat and we got Rega. So Nubarak and Chromie come in for the follow-up. The Chromestar in game number 1. Some of these heroes are not going to make it into the playoffs, by the way. In the playoffs we have, I think, right now 20 heroes banned. And I can already tell you that someone like Nubarak is not going to make it. Chromie is likely not going to make it. So a lot of the heroes that you see in game number 1 and game number 2 of most of these best of 5s that we have in the group stage, they are just going to get the axe. They're not going to make it. Yeah, but we got Malfurion, so he's banned out as well. They're really focusing on support bans. I mean, what the hell is going on? If you really want to get rid of the supports, pick them. Then they're not available in games later on. But they are trying to just slim that pool down heavily. Samuro gets banned against the blue team. I find that kind of amusing because Soaking has talked in the previous best of 5 series that they played how he wanted to play Samuro, but he wasn't allowed to. The fish just vetoed it and said like, ain't happening. Now we got a May and the Panda! Yes! Wrong skin, good hero. So he comes in with the Panda time. We got Mei and then Chen on the side. This is gonna get funny. It's gonna get really good. Yeah, next double pick here. Lavakal and Alvarus. They're the last ones to pick for Disgusting. And they already got some nice comps going for themselves. And Nubarak and Chromie, you get the stuns through. Chromie follows up with the direct damage. And it's gonna hurt. Now we get Falstad and Deckard Kane for even more CC, but also Gust Isolation, Global. Pretty sweet. Final pick. We have Greymane. Alright. Here we are, Haunted Mines, our first map in the best of 5 series in Group D at Meta Madness. So without further ado, map number 1. GTFOs against Disgusting on the left side. Chen is being played. It's Panda time with Soaking, Cloud Destroyer and Junkrat, Hunter Hawk on Rega. The Fish is playing Mei, and Madron is playing Greymane. To the right side of the map, Team Disgusting in red with Richu on Urel, Labakal on Deckard Kane. We got Atrax on Falstad, Twice on Anuburak, and Alvaros is playing Chromie. So Twice is actually Mimikyu, who apparently changed his nickname. Probably because nobody could spell Mimikyu. Like, I'm not quite sure what the reason is behind it. But now he goes for Twice. Twice what? I mean, honestly, if you read a name like this, I have questions. Once wasn't enough? Twice is better? Why not 3 times? Why only twice? So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. But I immediately have questions when I see something. I have questions when I see this too. Maybe Twice because he needs the ability Twice to get out of this one? He's getting body blocked really nicely by Fish, by the way. Oof, that's a lot of extra damage. So yeah, Twice is apparently as confused as we are. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, again, it's not the worst Chen skin, but there's better ones for sure. So it seems like Soaking might not make it out of this one at all. And yep, that is a dead Panda. Okay, so that went pretty quickly. China isn't going to be happy with this one. Panda already down. I mean, they have been on the red list for a while, but that is putting it to a whole new level over here. So off we go. We got the first blood in the house. We got a couple of pumpkins camps that get taken. With the level 1 talents, we get the freshest ingredients. Only the best over here. Only the freshest ingredients. And, and Nubarak, a little bit late to the party. Junkrat reacting in time. And alright, top side. Panda still playing this out against Urel, but that's some nice damage on the bot lane, I was about to say. But since Mei is now moving in, we can't really do too much. It's still, it's a kill. And it's a numbers advantage. I was just about to say, it's a numbers advantage, and now it's even a bigger one because we were able to take Junkrat down. So Rega is rotating down to the bottom of the map, but this still opens up a bit of an opportunity for the red team to maybe do some structural damage. They're trying to grab Vision, which hasn't really worked yet, so the blue team is doing quite well to cover. But I gotta say, this is pretty sweet what they're currently doing here. Because from the beginning, they are putting pressure onto the blue team. And we've been talking about how important this series is going to be. And right now, this is pretty much exactly what this is all about. And yeah, doesn't look too bad. As I already said, this is going to play a big role in who gets out of this group, which teams are going to make it, and at least right now, a slight lead for Disgusting that might help them to take the first point in this series. Another best of 5 of Meta Madness, with now the mines opening up as well. There's no big gap though. Despite the 2 kills, there's not really a huge advantage. They have done a bit of structural damage. They coordinated their attacks well, but now that the mines are open, we'll see who actually pulls ahead on the skull. So if the teams are going to ignore the objective mostly. But nope, entrances are up. And now they could try and trap them a little bit over here. Even baiting it out with the Nubarak slightly, since the blue team is indicating that they're trying to go for structures instead. And here comes the flank! So yeah, as they go deep, immediately the reaction from the red team as they're moving out of the mines and coming in behind them. And Nubarak baits him. Wow, what? Damn, is he gonna survive? There's no way. Alright, Nubarak gets killed, but that was pretty cool. Deckard Kane nearly saved him. I thought he was already dead. Initially they trapped Greymane, but then Nubarak realized that he didn't, that he trapped himself. Which he wasn't too happy about, as you can imagine. So, yeah. In the meantime, we have the push towards the top for more camps, so they're getting the pumpkins. The red team has a few heroes now down at the bottom of the, at the bottom level, to try and get some additional skulls, and Urel is so far doing okay. Chen is now joining her. which leaves the Lubarak alone at the top lane. Still a bit of a push happening at the bot lane, but yeah, soaking against Richu. He's gonna fall back out immediately. Lubarak is still there, so if they need an assist, they can go for it. But the camps with pumpkins are still getting prioritized by the GTFOs over the bottom level of Haunted Mines. 32 skulls to 0, and they're going for the camp. They really want this one. So yep, everybody's starting to jump in. Falstad and Junkrat are there. Junkrat is arriving. Falstad flies in, maybe a bit too late to the party. He's trying to assist Nubarak, and thanks to the stun, Soaking isn't able to get the final hit. But they took the camp. So the blue team, they've claimed the pumpkins and can break through the wall now. And there's enormous pressure now on Team Disgusting. Chromie at least completes her quest, so that's nice. But they need a bit more than that. Despite the fact that we had these 2 initial kills for Disgusting, they're now starting to fall a bit behind. They have a lead in skulls, but if that really translates into more structural damage later, that's of course a very different question. They're currently trying to make exactly that happen. And yep, Chromie gets a few hits in. So they're at 40 skulls already, so the worst thing that could happen to them is more or less a 50-50. Depends on who takes the big boss down at the bottom level. But, yep, here we go. We got, at the top, another pressure play made for the fort. And Itrex is the only one trying to stop them. Now this is a danger when you're up against the Greyman. If he makes it to the structures, you know that you're having a tough time. And Falstad can't stay alone, so Nubarak comes in to help out a little bit and allows Falstad also to get in a position to at least get some damage out. But it's 54 skulls to 10, so no matter what happens here, Disgusting is going to walk away with the bigger first objective. It's not gonna be huge unless they get the big boy too. But either way, should be interesting what they can do with the first one. Now, the problem with the first objective is obviously the usual. You don't get a whole lot of momentum since it didn't really scale too hard. But if you are able to maybe get a kill and time it a bit around the time that you're trying to go for your actual move, then there's a chance that you can push a fort down, get some additional damage done there. So there's definitely a couple of options that they have and that they could try to play for. If they essentially then also are going to make that work, that's a different question, but yeah, time will tell. For now, it's all again about the temporal loop. The panda is down. That was a nice kill, and also at a very opportune moment in time. They need to defend against the pumpkins here. That was more important than anything else, and this is exactly what we're currently seeing from them. So yeah, it's time to defeat the pumpkins. Ice Wall is out too, and so far so good. So what else are we gonna get right now? Can they maybe go for a follow-up kill and then go in, do a little bit more damage to these structures? Doesn't really seem like it. Both teams have level 10 abilities now, so we are in a situation where heroics have dropped for everybody, which doesn't give us a lot of surprises. I mean, we get the cake. So we get the cake. It's like full-on top shelf plays from Chen, and with that we now have also the Ancestral over on the right side. Yeah, Gust. Get the Ardent Defender. Alrighty. So, with that, we got 3 kills to 1. Still, we're not really a kill every game. 8 minutes in, we have seen 4 kills. Normally at that time we have like twice that at least. But they are still pressuring this around the top. Once again, it's the Panda that gets targeted. But this time he's kegging away from the temporal loop. And good job that he did, because if not, he would have been stunned by a Nubarak immediately. Now, he's not out of the woods yet. But the Cocoon came out on May. We got Junkrat at the bottom of the map. It's like a really long skirmish here. Ice Wall shutting Chromie down. That's the best wall right there for sure. And well, with that we now have another play made for the birdie. It's like an insanely long brawl between the two teams, and we haven't seen a single kill. The Panda targeted, then they're trying to turn it around on Falstad. He's by now sitting on 44 stacks. But yeah, it's just an endless back and forth between the two of them. And now it seems that the GTFOs are again gaining some momentum as they're making a move for the top fort, trying to get the attack over here. going to drop this one, but with the Gust and Soaking dropping low, the blue team has to retreat. Urel also, for a moment at least, was thinking about rejoining the red team, but had to drop back down into the mines. So yeah, the game is all over the place. I mean, everybody's trying to get a bit of an advantage. This is a super important best of 5, as I said earlier. Another Keck used to get away from Chromie and her ult. And now the red team is starting to make plays for the big golem there. Yes, they are going to try and take this one down, and so far things are looking pretty okay for objective number 1. They just have to really make sure that they can do something with it. Another ice wall, good move by Junkrat. Not too trigger happy on his abilities, so that helps him to time it perfectly and get out. Soaking, still fine. 67 to 10 skulls. So, can they go for Mei? Nah, not really. So yeah, Mei is able to get out of this one as well. You know, 10.5 minutes in. The Panda still threatening the top lane. Has his Keck up. Can Keck away. Which is exactly what he does. Buys a little bit more time for the team to grab the camp here, which they did immediately. And if they can just got those pumpkins in, then it's very likely going to be the fort. So while the game is quite slow and they're really just looking for incremental advantages, I gotta say that the blue team is pushing farther and farther ahead on structures. That's the big lead that they have. Both forts of Disgusting have taken damage, so they are just applying consistent pressure on the lanes in an effort to take these down. 13 to 13 on the talent board now, but this might be a catch right here. Chromie with even more damage now done, but they have a hard time killing someone. Maybe now. Maybe Junkrat. Ancestral. Oh my god. Just in time. Just in time. That looked insanely dicey. This really looked like it's the end for the red. But they somehow made it out. Now, at the same time, the Keck is creating space. Falstad gets caught, gets killed, and that's the end of the fort. This is exactly this play on the knife's edge that we've seen now throughout the last 5-6 minutes. They apply pressure, and then it's just that one moment. Instead of Junkrat dying, he gets Ancestral. Shortly after that, they can turn it onto the birdie. Falstad falls. That's the end of the fort. And now another attempt, I would assume, by Disgusting to try and, yeah, get those skulls. And that's what they're doing with Urel now. So they have 80 skulls. Another 10 are available. Blue team is most likely, now that they're seeing that something's happening here, try to push a little bit. But the big question will be, what can Disgusting do with Golem number 1? They have, by far, the better objective. Rule of thumb on Haunted Mines in the past was push with the bigger Golem. Bigger Golem wants to push. If they really do that here, that's the question. Falstad is at the top, so it seems like they're setting everything up for that particular play. The bird can fly down when need be. Currently still dealing with Chen, by the way. And yeah, even the Keck was used here in an attempt to take Falstad down, but the chicken survived. So the birdie is fine. But they need to do some serious damage right now. This has to be the goal. You have Siege Giants. Granted, they will be taken out pretty quickly from the looks of it. But they gotta get that bottom fort. That has to be the goal here. So bottom fort is getting targeted. Falstad against Chen, still up at the top. But this one has to do work. This is the one big difference that we've seen in the game so far between the two teams. Disgusting has committed time and time again heroes to the bottom level of Haunted Mines in an attempt to get the bigger golem. Now they have it, and they're playing quite nicely around it. They take the fort down. They take Greymane down. Topside, Chen is still doing some work with their own and tries to make a play for the keep. But the golem at least is gone. The problem is that he still might get some value here. Down to the bottom of the map, a similar picture unfolds in front of us, because despite the defense, it's currently the keep that suffers the most. The teams are both closing in on level 16. Falstad has saved the top so far. He pushed out the catapults and also the siege giants, and that means Chen just can't handle this alone anymore. And it seems like they're pulling ahead now. Disgusting as level 16, and they're taking the bottom keep. So the entire bot lane is now fully destroyed on the blue team side. They've been the ones to take the first fort, and really it was all this interplay between one team going for the objective and the other didn't. The other was just trying to take structures, apply pressure, look for kills, and they did a good job at it. But now we have these strategies slowly and steadily clashing as the objectives are also going to become stronger from here on out. But the situation has switched a little bit. The experience lead for Disgusting shows it clearly, and the fact that they've taken a keep down even more so. So things are looking pretty good. I mean, again, small advantages, right? But they're looking pretty good for Disgusting. If they can get a kill on Mei here, and they do, this is going to be even better. They didn't steal the camp. I thought for a second that they are able to also take the camp itself. But they got the kill. And now they are hoping to take Chen down too. And you know what? They actually manage. That's 2 heroes down. 2 heroes eliminated, and all of a sudden the entire game has flipped. The pressure plays by the GTFOs were fantastic at the beginning, but now they're paying the price. The golem that pushed has changed, I don't want to say everything, but a lot. There's a significant lead in experience now for Disgusting. They've pulled farther ahead in this game, and they are now looking very, very strong as they got the final 2 kills against Mei and against Chen. Now they can push through the top, try to damage another fort here, and this is exactly the situation that they are looking for. Try and get an advantage, and then after that just keep up the lead, apply pressure, and play around the advantage that you fought for so hard. So over here, another fort is about to go down. Somebody needs to just get 1 hit in. Beetle would probably not quite be enough. They're gonna get it eventually though. Chromie can just attack from a distance. But with the undeads spawning in another few seconds, it's a camp that gets taken, but Urel is already at the bottom of the map. And you can see that things have changed a little bit, because now the blue team is very willing to make a move here. And they're looking at this and they're like, you know what, maybe we should take care of that after all. So both teams have now immediately dropped into the mines in an attempt to get some of these camps. And the Panda gets attacked again. Has to keg it out and makes it. Alright, Panda is still safe. Yep, that didn't really do anything. Temporal Loop was a good idea, but he countered it with his own ult. So now they go for Nubarak. Stuns are coming. Anoop gets out. The Ancestral gets hit pretty early. Good move by Deckard, but maybe too little too late? Ah, he's still alive. Nubarak also escapes once again. Chen wants him. Goes to the top, trying to fight this one out. Down at the bottom of the map, they're also chasing. And Nubarak dies, and so does the Panda. This is interesting though, because now we have catapults on the core and we have siege giants on the core. Somebody got to deal with it. It's Junker that had to move back. So there's going to be a little bit of damage done, I want to say, at the core. Yep, down to 96%. But they had to retreat with one of their heroes to make sure that it isn't more than that. And Junkrat will have to stay longer because there's another minion wave coming in that also has a catapult, of course. So now down here, they're making a move for Atrax. Gust comes out and Chromie is trying to join the fight. This is getting really spicy, boys. This is getting really crazy. Hunter Orc. Yes, there's a kill. 1 kill is in, and Rega got zipped back down as is dead as well. Temporal Loop upgrade for the win. Chromie having already access to the stuck in the loop, definitely coming through for them here. That's 9 kills to 3. Disgusting. Looking sexy. They are getting a bit ahead in points on the objective. It's going to be 55 to 45. Tiny advantage. It's more so a question of how you're going to deal with it now. But given the fact that at this point in time, we still have... They actually have not taken the last one. Okay, Falstad now did. Falstad now claimed it. I was just about to say, the death timers for GTFOs, Rega and Mei might be a problem here. But no, they are able to get back into the game just in time. Chen has died 4 times. Chen has been crushed pretty heavily, but look at this. 20! Oh boy, this one is gonna hurt. This one is gonna hurt a lot. Yes, so this is gonna be level 20 talents with this. They even have the pumpkins here. They're likely gonna get destroyed quickly. But now that they have the golem at the top, this might be a play for game. Down to the bottom of the map, yes, the fort will fall. Panda can play around this a bit, but it doesn't change the fact that the real party is at the top lane. This is where the team with level 20 talents, with the Seraphim, with the Wind Tunnel, Respect the Elderly, and Nubarak's Rewind is now making a move not only for the key, but also for the core. And if they get just a little bit closer on this one, then whew, they might lock in victory number 1 in this best of 5. Stuck in a loop, already being used. The Panda jumping out again and making it. So Chen using his cooldown for it. They're baiting it out very early. Riptire gets annihilated. Oh, and he's in trouble. The Ancestral saving the day, but Soaking is not out of the woods just yet. Cocoon used on Mei, but while all of this happens, the keep is falling. The keep's gone. The wind tunnel used, unfortunately timed around Respect the Elderly, but it doesn't matter. They're all in the corner. A killer on Greymane. They take down Chen, and this should be all she wrote. Game number 1, everybody. It is Disgusting that takes the lead in this oh so important best of 5 series here in Group D of Meta Madness. The GTFOs, they're losing their first map in the group. Disgusting on Haunted Mines. Successful. The Golem too strong, and this is the 1-0 for Disgusting over GTFO as we are headed to game number 2. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Game number 2, Battlefield of Eternity. Disgusting has taken the lead. Yeah, Group D is likely going to be one of the more contested groups of the group stage here at Meta Madness. Now we have 20 heroes that are not available for this draft, the 10 that were played in game number 1, and the 10 that are banned for the entire group stage. So let's see how the GTFOs adjust. I mean, it was a really close game. You could really tell the difference in strategy at the start, whereas the blue team was trying to just push, didn't commit a whole lot of resources and time to attack the objective and claim the bigger golem. They did a lot on the structures. They took the top fort down, they did damage at the bottom fort, but it wasn't enough to compensate for the advantages that Disgusting got for locking the golem in eventually. So now that we're here in game number 2, it's more of a traditional map. We have Battlefield of Eternity coming up. And since slowly the hero pool is getting more and more limited, you have to, of course, also come up with new strategies and new ideas here. And this is where it becomes very interesting to see what they can do. But yeah, so let's have a bit of a look here. By the way, while we're having the draft going on, also one of the things that I want to point out, I actually wanted to wear it today as well, but the delivery has been delayed a little bit. We have new merch in the shop, so we actually have HGC merch now. The Heroes Gaming Community is going strong. If you're watching this on YouTube, you should go into the description of the video. There's a link to the shop. We had some previous collections already, the Fruit Fly collection, but now we have HGC merch, and it's actually pretty sweet. I got some for myself, like t-shirt and also a mug, but they weren't delivered in time to use it here today, or I would have shown you. But if you haven't seen it yet and you want to check it out, it's pretty cool. And if you want to be part of the Heroes Gaming Community, HGC short, then yeah, have a look. So the link is in the description. Well, we got Sylvanas banned again. That doesn't come as a surprise. Li Ming also makes sense. It's Battlefield of Eternity after all. The advantage of having Li Ming here is simply that whenever you are sending any volley, any combo towards the objective, your opponent has two choices. A, they let it go through, then the Immortal takes damage, and you can slowly whittle it down. B, they soak it with the hero, then you put more pressure on your support who has to heal you up, and so on and so forth, and eventually somebody can come in and get those kills. So Li Ming is a very popular choice here, and we see her banned. Muradin, Stukov, those are the two that we're getting for Disgusting. Yeah, good choices for sure. Stormbolts, you have the extra damage from Muradin against the Immortal. You got Stukov here for the follow-up with the Lurking Arm. Cassia played by Madron for the damage. And we get Varian, alright. Varian Malfurion, so apparently they're going for a bit of a killer comp as well. Varian and Malv, so you get a taunt straight into the root. But I'm a bit curious what the Immortal damage is going to be for Disgusting in particular. Because there's some fancy options, and there's some more normal options. Bambi could be chosen as well. Lunara is up. She's not banned. She hasn't been played yet. So she could be picked. And obviously here in Meta Madness we also had multiple Artanises just for the level 1. With a limited pool, Artanis is actually starting to become a little bit better as a choice, especially if you're looking for that extra damage through your side laner. It's still very early though. Normally Battlefield of Eternity appeared as one of the later maps in the series, so that makes Atanas a little bit more attractive. Now it's only the second map, so there's plenty of heroes available still that you can take. And most heroes are better than Atanas in that role. That's just the unfortunate truth. Unfortunate for Atanas fans. But, well, here we go. So, we have Zarya banned, which still allows us for the option of Zarya Garrosh later on in Game 3, Game 4. But here comes Rexa. So, we got Muradin, Rexa. You have the follow-up stun from Misha. But what's the damage? How are they going to play this one? Because this is going to reveal a ton. They go for Suljin. Okay, they're trolling. They're going for Suljin. They want to give him the axe. And Suljin can actually murder. Absolutely. That immediately begs the question, what is going to be the additional frontline that we're getting for the GTFOs? Suljin has currently one target on the other side, and that's Varian. Who else are they going to pick that Suljin can take aim at? Well, Samuro and Alarak. Alright, Samuro's definitely an interesting choice in that context, but Soaking wanted to play him already a few times, and now he gets the chance here. Whereas Alvaros locks in Deathwing as the final pick for Disgusting. Let's go, boys! Battlefield of Eternity, Disgusting against the GTFOs. Game number 2! On the left side, the GTFOs with Fish on Varian. We got Soaking on Samuro, Madron on Cassia, Cloud Destroy on Alarak, and Hunter Orc on Malfurion. Okay, so this is an interesting lineup that they're running here. Samuro against Suljin is also fairly interesting. Labakan is playing Stuka for Disgusting. We got Richu on Rexa, twice on Muradin, Itrax on Suljin, and Alvaros is playing Deathwing. Now, some of the more interesting things here to highlight is this is only the third time, I believe, that Suljin is being played in the group stage of Meta Madness. Now again, there's going to be a big difference later between the group stage rates of heroes and the playoff rate, but Suljin has been severely underplayed so far. He's been banned a few times, especially on this map, but right now we got on level 1 the Recklessness, and he's obviously going to try and stack his baseline as quickly as he can. We got the Lightning build for Alarak, and this should be a pretty interesting game to say the least, because Alarak gets burned to a crisp immediately. Nice! But yeah, as I was about to say, we have a lot of heroes that are going to try and stack very aggressively. Alarak, obviously, with the sadism is first and foremost going to be someone to watch out for. Then the level 4 is going to be important for him, whereas with Suljin it's likely the baseline and the level 7 talent that we're going to keep a close eye on. And if he can stack throughout the game, then in the late game he is going to be an absolute monster. So definitely multiple things to pay attention to. One thing that we should have paid attention to is Alvaro's fantastic skin choice. If you're playing Deathwing, this is one of the skins that you want to run around with. This is also a tint that is fantastic. Deathwing looks like a majestic dragon. He looks amazing, he looks gorgeous, and he doesn't look like something that you want to shove in the oven and eat half an hour later. So yeah, if you ever seen the turkey skin or the chicken skin, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself, don't do that to the people that you play with, don't do that to the people you play against, and especially, don't do it to me. It's a big F if you're using that if I cast your game. That is just not okay. What's also not okay is apparently trolls. So this is discriminatory in my eyes. The GTFOs are coming in and they're like, we hate trolls. We hate them. Only a dead troll is a good troll. So they come in and take Suljin down. I don't like it. I was about to say they don't like green people, but then I remembered that they have Samuro in their lineup and I was just like, yeah. Maybe it's this particular green person that they don't like, so yeah. Yeah, but it is what it is. So, level 4 is in. We got the Grizzled Fortitude. And here we got the Negatively Charged. Alright! This is where the party really starts. I want to see the stacks, baby. I want to see some hits. Talking about stacks and hits, Suljin hasn't really hit that many people. He's currently at 1 baseline hit. Negatively Charged is at least slowly coming in, so good for them. But the objective is also coming through. So let's have a bit of a look here. Yeah, Deathwing comes in. By the way, why does this not kill people instantly? If you have Deathwing landing on top of you, do you actually think anybody survives that? I personally still am a huge fan of certain hero interaction, that whenever Deathwing goes up against Misha, for example, or against Lunara, he can just eat them. It's a fucking dragon. I mean, why the hell isn't there some kind of special ability that unlocks when you go up against one of the two, and you can just simply come in and eat them? Could also be unlocked against Murky. Deathwing likes frogs. Just go in, and you just eat it. That would be fantastic. That's exactly what I need. But also, when you just drop from above, and you pancake a hero, there should be a pancake animation, and there should also be a pancake sound. So we have neither, which is a huge oversight by Blizzard. Instead, we get another burning Alarak, which is also good. I like that too. And we get also a variant kill. So Disgusting is again gaining momentum in the early game. So 3 kills to 1. Alarak has now died for the second time. Despite the taunt that we are seeing from Varian, they could not do enough here. And a few more stacks came together for Suljin as well. I mean, obviously he was also picked for his damage against the Immortal, don't get me wrong. He can absolutely crush that thing. But he is at 7 baseline stacks, so he's slowly working his way up to the 15, where he gets an extended reach on his attacks. So, yeah, that's going to make it a little bit easier for him. And off we go. It's a big one. First Immortal, big shield. Immediately a big shield. So, yeah. And on level 7, we get the Ferocity. Somebody doesn't want to stack his Arcanite Axis. That's just sad. That is... yeah. Not okay. Money auto attacks. Oh boy. Muradin jumping out there in the last moment before he falls. They are breaking through the top. Suljin is already starting to hammer away a bit on this one. Yeah, is obviously aiming to get a bit closer to the opponent too, to get some hits in. Cassia is going to play with her blind as much as she can to limit his output, but he is shielded by 3 melees, or by 3 big hit point heroes. Deathwing can also help him whenever he gets attacked. And once the level 10 hits, it's going to be even more dangerous. But that top fort is gone, so this is objective number 1, and the top fort is eliminated immediately. We got the Firestorm now in as well. More hits against Cassia, so she's in trouble. Barely makes it out, gets pushed back in. This time the Molten Flame didn't really do enough. But this is some intense pressure play from Disgusting. Some really intense one. Deathwing jumping out. They have to be careful with Suljin, but he is making his way out of the fight. The Storm Ball that hits Cassia, on the other hand, might just be the end of her. Deathwing is the one that is trying to drop her, and he can't pull it off. He got close, though. If somebody else would have helped him a little bit, I think this could have been another kill for them. They are still nearly level ahead. They will hit the early level 10. We also have, on top of that, 12 stacks now for Alarak. Towards his level 4. He is at 9,000 damage, Cassia is at 14,000, Deathwing at 19k, and slowly, steadily, Suljin is getting there and has 13,000 that he can now use. But the camp is being fought over. Deathwing is on the point, Misha is coming in as well, and Soaking is trying to get out with Samuro. They're all able to escape, but they had to give up their camp, and here is the level 10 ability. Yep, they are in real trouble now. Taz Dingo, we got the Bellowing Roar, and with level 10 there's very little that GTFOs can now do to stop this fort from falling. Especially since Samura's at the top, so we have a full 5-man pushing at the bottom of the map. They're going to try and take this down as quickly as they can, since the objective has already been announced. So they want to capitalize on the early level 10 as much as possible. Top side, Samuro is trying to get experience for the blue team and help them. But since he is missing, they are losing Cassia. Misha gets killed. Don't worry, she'll be back. And there's the Blade Storm, so he's going full Glorong on us with his level 10. They're even stealing the camp away. They're thinking about it. Since Cassia is gone, that's actually a move that is working for them. Suljin had to use his ult already and is still getting the attacks through and gets the kill! 8 hit points on him, he dies. But at least they got a kill for a kill. They're stealing the camp, or they're about to. And they also just dropped Varian. Can they steal a camp? I'm not so sure. There's only the Shaman remaining, but they're a bit torn since the objective is already up on the map, so they're giving it up. Giving it over to the opponent, but the halftime show should be theirs. And Suljin is back. He also has now 16 stacks. So Suljin is now in a position where he can start to rely a little bit more on his attack range. He got significantly increased, well, significantly, +1, after he had the 15 stacks, so that helps him to stack this further. Nice taunt. I went for Murden. It was like, Gimli is cooler than you. Murden is like that at all. Rawr! Comes in, drops the Storm Bolt, gets immediately aggressive. Another jump with a level 7, and they get the kill. Suljin coming through with a final hit, and boy, oh boy, is GTFO in trouble now. Game number 1, match number 1, went really well for them. 3-0 victory over Team Madness. Now, on the other hand, they're already 0-1, and it doesn't look great on Battlefield of Eternity. For a comeback, they need a teamfight victory. And getting a kill against Muradin would be a very good first step. Alarak is still stacking, so he's at 106 sadism at 27 stacks on level 4. He completed his level 1, so it's not like they're not making any progress here. They definitely have some dangerous tools in their hands. Alarak has taken top damage on his team, so Cassia was heavily ahead of him earlier, and now the situation has changed. Alarak taking the top damage numbers for them, and if he can stack the level 4 a little bit further, if he is able to get more sadism together, he is gonna do tons and tons of damage there. So late game Alarak is dangerous, very difficult to deal with if played properly. Suljin obviously a similar situation, but yeah, look at this. Misha completely body blocked. Nope. And yeah, that's Cassia getting the kill. Another 10 seconds before Misha is back. 2 forts are destroyed. They hope for the first keep. And disgusting. I mean, again, they are pressuring whenever they get a chance. Attack, 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 attack. And then now Suljin, he dropped the ult. He didn't use the ult. I really thought he did, but no. He didn't go for the button, and that is the end of him. So that's unfortunate. That means that they might not even get that keep. They're getting close, though. It's nearly destroyed, and I guess the Immortal is going to take it down. The level 13 talent advantage obviously does help them quite a bit. Keep is gone, and that is all that they wanted out of this situation. So they're going to slowly retreat here now and try to move back. But job well done, despite the fact that they lost Suljin here. So, yeah. Obviously, always a bit difficult when you're going up against Alarak. I mean, you want to time your ult perfectly, but if Alarak gets a combo off against you and you're silenced, then you're kind of crushed there. But that is the back and forth that you have to account for, right? So it's not like your opponent is just going to wait and let you do whatever you want. Talking about waiting, it seems like Malfurion is going to have a tough time. Deathwing was trying to fly in deep and cut his path of retreat off. That didn't work, but they were able to isolate the fish. And that means Varian is dead. 8 kills to 3. Another camp about to be taken. Suljin is stacking it a bit further. Is now sitting at 24, so he's getting closer on completing his baseline. And yep, the rotation is happening towards the top, I was about to say. I would think that they are interested in getting a few more minion waves. It's 13 versus 13 talents, but you want to close the gap still as much as you can. Yep, there's the Blade Storm. Off we go. And what are we getting from Alarak at this point in time? 27,000 damage. Look at Deathwing, by the way. 48k! 48,000 for him. Can they do a bit more with Suljin as this continues? It's at 27,000. Again, he's the main damage dealer for the Immortal for them. But obviously, you want to also just like scale up heavily. Good kill. Nice invade, great kill. Murden is dead. Suljin this time used his ult a little bit earlier. Might still fall. Yeah, is likely going to fall. Doesn't have his 20 yet, but got a few stacks together. They still were able to take him down. And Alarak is now at 31,000 damage. He's at 33 stacks on his level 4. They still got a retreat here, so they couldn't steal the camp away, but they got 2 kills. Varian is still gone, but those 2 kills, they were pretty big. It's a 4 versus 3 situation on the map, and now for the first time in this game, they have an actual shot to get ahead on the objective. Their problem is the top lane, where we have catapults and camps now going for the keep wall. Should be able to deal with it, but the next big issue is that level 16 talent that has just now been unlocked by Disgusting. So, yeah, Disgusting is again in a spot where they could use a talent advantage to get themselves another objective. Alarak needs to pop off. They need him to pop off. It really has to happen here, or they are going to be in a world of pain. Quest completed for Suljin. He's going to stack it further, but now he has the double swing on the Arcanite axis. Soaking, yeah, also getting out of this one. But everybody is getting a bit low here. Soaking has to retreat, and Stukov survives. Samuro, nice. He tried to sneak in and drop him, but then the big slap happened. Easy hits from Stukov. Topside keep, by the way, is about to go down. Over here, the Immortal gets attacked. Full on Deathwing, Molten Flame, and we got now Murden retreating slowly through the choke point. Top keep is going to be lost. They thought and they played for this particular one. Both keeps have been destroyed. Every single lane is pushing aggressively. Not a single fort has been taken down on the red team side, which means that continuous catapult pressure is now inevitable. We also have 50% shield on the Immortal. The kill on Varian, he died 6 times in this game. The only one on the blue team that hasn't fallen is Malfurion, but with 11 kills to 5 and a 2-level advantage, Disgusting is now making their way over towards the core. They want this. They want this 2-0 lead, and they're not going to show any mercy here. They're crushing them, absolutely crushing them. The Immortal isn't even here yet. Alarak is down. He tried 42,000 damage for him, just not enough. He got 40 stacks towards the end. But this is Disgusting with a 2-0 lead against the GTFOs. Nicely done here on Battlefield. Very impressive showing by the team in red as we are moving on towards game number 3 and also the first match point for Disgusting. GG. Game number 3, Dragonshire, and well, Disgusting has taken a pretty disgusting lead in the series, so pretty respectable. It's quite impressive, honestly. I did think that they would struggle a little bit more. The GTFOs are definitely not a pushover team, but Disgusting has controlled the second game even more than they did control game number 1, where for a long time things were extremely even and they're just like tilted towards the red team. But now that we're going into game 3, it also means that 30 heroes are unavailable, so that might change things slightly in regards to what the two teams can put together here. Also, a quick reminder, guys, we have this entire tournament only been possible by the people that are supporting the channel and the events like this one on Patreon. So if you want to help support and create more events like this, head over to patreon.com/Khaldor. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, there's also a link in the description that you can take a look at. As I explained before, it's pretty difficult to find sponsors for Heroes of the Storm, since pretty much every single company looks at Blizzard and says like, well, even the company that created the game kind of abandoned it, so they don't really think it's a great investment. We were able to partner with a few in the past, and I'm going to try to do it again in the future, but the past few events that we ran in Heroes were only made possible by people supporting the stream on patreon.com/Khaldor. So a big shout out to all of the patrons. Again, guys, without you, this wouldn't be possible. So thank you very, very much. And the last few events, and this one included, does only exist because of you guys. So big shout out. Thanks a lot. And yeah, with that, we're now heading into the third map. And we'll see if maybe the GTFOs can turn things. Yeah, Lunara. Early pick into the damage dealer here. Dehaka as a global has been banned quickly. So Dehaka out, as well as Garrosh. It's actually really surprising that Dehaka has not been played or picked more aggressively in the series. I mean, to be fair, okay, it was Blackhearts and was Haunted Mines, so yeah. Now that we are on Dragonshire, it makes a whole lot more sense to ban him, since he would be one of the priority picks for sure. But instead, we're now getting a Zagara and Ana. Yep, we are definitely in game number 3, so Meta Madness is slowly starting up. Zagara for bot lane control can be quite nice. Most of the time when you see her in Dragonshire, she's at least played on the bot lane. So very early, we already get one Zerg Queen in. Gotta control the creep spread. Gotta control those tumors, take him down, limit vision, and not allow Zagara to control the entire lane. Okay, things get interesting very quickly. We get Kharazim and we get Tyrael. Now there's a few picks that instantly should be considered. A, you got Abathur here. So Abathur is one that would vibe well with Kharazim and also with Tyrael. But also, we have seen a few games now with Illidan. And Illidan can really crush a lot of these heroes. He can be very strong against Ana, against Zagara. It's maybe a little bit too early to pick him here on the other hand. But back in the days, you would oftentimes go for an Illidan with Tyrael, so you can do a lot with that. I just believe it's a little bit too early to really bust him out there. Would still consider him as an option, considering like always like taking, keeping in mind that there are still 3 picks for the blue team. So the problem with Illidan is obviously that stuns are very strong against him. CC is one of the best things to do with him. There's like this misconception that you need to stack blinds against him. That's obviously stupid. The guy's blind after all, so like the kappa. But no, jokes aside. So it's really stunning him. Trying to control him. CC is super important. He is an option. I think it's a little bit too soon for that option to be used. But it depends a bit on what exactly GTFO is now picking. Because if they don't have a lot of control, might be a thing. And then you go into a very, very aggressive draft where you just like try to come in with Kharazim, with Tyrael. You want to jump in deep, right, and do the work. We get a Maiev and we get a Sonya. So the main tank hasn't been chosen yet. Fish hasn't made a choice here. Definitely interesting now. If you go for a Tyrael, if you want to play him as a main tank, you want to drive the momentum. So, what's it going to be for them? Kel'Thas! Kel'Thas is in the house, and we get Leoric. Alright. We get the Fire Mage in. Kel'Thas is also quite nice, of course, against Zagara. So you can take some, and so is Leoric. I mean, you should use the Janitor skin in that situation because he's literally going to try and clean things up. He's going to take those creep tumors down whenever he gets an opportunity. The two of them will work in tandem to limit the vision that Zagara can provide. Fish, I believe Uther is still available for him, so he could also go into his Uther main tank if he wanted, but we get a Stitches. So Stitches, time. Dragonshire, game 3, their last chance to start a reverse sweep here. Yeah. 3rd map. So guys, let's go. Disgusting against the GTFOs on Dragonshire. Game number 3, match point number 1. The red team, they have an opportunity to end this one. On the left side, we currently have Soaking with Sonya, Madron with Zagara, Fish on Stitches, Hunter Hawk is playing Ana in game number 3. Here in Group D, and Cloud Destroy with Maiev. To the right side, with 2 victories under the belt already, we got Richu on Leoric, Lavakal on Kharazim, Itrax on Lunara, twice on Tyrael, and Alvaros is playing Kel'Thas. Why? Oh, that's interesting. Hungry for more, really? Okay. Did not expect that on this map, but I'm here for it. Kind of shame that they didn't go for Alexstrasza. Why do you say under your belt? Why do they have 2 wins under their belt? Why not over their belt? Why not in the pocket? Why not 2 wins in the backpack? Why under the belt? Some things just don't make too much sense to me. What if they don't? What if the person doesn't have a belt? Is that a problem? Can you have 2 under your belt if you don't have a belt? So many questions. Hard-hitting questions here at the beginning of game number 3. And we have Tyrael, by the way, with the Ardent Restoration, so we could actually see him go for a bit more of an aggressive build as well. Kind of doubt it, but you know, maybe. Alvaros, and goodbye. Kel'Thas is dead. Yep, that is a quick one, so the Fire Mage is dropped pretty much instantaneously. He pulled a Lauber. He clearly pulled a Lauber. Game is not even 1 minute old and he's already dead. So Kel'Thas is going for the Lauber memorial move, or whatever you want to call it. We got a few stacks coming together for Stitches here as he's trying to rotate between the lanes as well. Hoping, of course, to get a few more globes for himself. Got the corpse feeders in. And also, as usual, the Iron Fists. And that is an early DK. Damn! Not bad. So they snuck it in before the 2-minute mark. Lunara was trying to interrupt it and gets an ass kicking for her troubles. Quickly punted across the map. But that is DK number 1. Now obviously, if you get a DK at 1 minute and 40 seconds into the game, this thing is not doing a whole lot of work. Very early in. Didn't scale a lot, but they dropped nearly the entire wall. So that's pretty solid. That's honestly fairly good for the first objective. The problem comes at the top lane, because them making the play for the Dragon Knight came at a cost. They couldn't take their own camp. They have to now face off against the mercenary camp of Disgusting. So it's more or less identical damage between the two teams. Not quite, but close enough. Now Richu is likely not going to make it here, so he activates his trade. Outside of that, he's fine. But that's 2 kills to 0 now. And bot lane and mid lane gates nearly destroyed. Now, we got a bit of body blocking on as they were hoping to get a counter kill on Ana. That hasn't worked. But this is early on aggression. Nice! Another tether, another kill. Goodbye, Tyrael. And as all of this plays out, Kel'Thas is struggling with Zagara at the bottom of the map. So the blue team has really put together a draft that makes it a bit more tricky for Disgusting to control this. I mean, look at the creep spread everywhere here. Kel'Thas is doing his best, but Leoric eventually will have to make a bit of an appearance to deal with this. They are trying to double up on Sonya at the top side, but I think she's going to get away. Yes, very low and will likely have to retreat, but there is a rotation happening, so help is on the way, and they're getting out. But at the bot lane, yes, okay, Tyrael is helping out. Tyrael is the one that helps out a little bit, so they're going to try and take a few more of these creep tumors apart. 1 down, 2 down. Good job, forcing Zagara back a little bit. Every time she gains map and lane control, it's of course a problem. 10 stacks for Stitches. So yes, he's getting a bit closer with this one. Every 20 he gets the additional increase on the movement speed. 5 come in baseline. So yeah, Leo at the top. A little bit too late to deal with the camp. And he has the janitor skin. I really like this a lot, not only because it's probably the best skin for the janitor, but at the well, for Leoric, but at the same time it's also very fitting concerning what his job will be later on in the game, or one of his jobs. He definitely has to just clean all of this up. Zagara is making a mess at the bot lane right now, so that's where he's really needed. We need him to just swing this up a little bit. Kel'Thas is definitely not liking this at all. 9 globe stacks for Kel'Thas, so not really too quick. Wants to get to the 20 before, ideally before the ult hits for the opponent. I don't think that is going to happen any longer. Lunara also focusing more on Maiev and trying to get some poke damage in with the damage over time. Up at the top, still our 2 side laners with Leo just draining all day, every day. But everyone is now getting closer and closer to level 10. Maybe with Uther, another slow... No, it's not going to be enough. Not with Ana saying hello and helping out. Lunara is too late to have an impact here, but it's still with the next objective. It's trying control that both of them are looking for. If these kills happen in these gank situations on the side lane, it's always a big plus. But it's not necessarily something that they are banking all their hopes on. We get the disc, we get the maw, and they are already trying for Bambi, but Lunara gets out and in the process takes down the creep tumors as well. And even a few hits in. Interact is beasting it over here. No panic, no nothing. It's just like cool as a cucumber. Comes in and just drops 2 of the creep tumors. It's just like, oh wait, you wanted to pressure me. Oh, I'm sorry that didn't work out for you. We also have Pyro! Pyro and Judgment! You're getting double judged over here. Yep, double judge it is. So now they're trying to go for a kill on Stitches. Yeah, good luck with that. I'm not sure if that's gonna work out for you. Yeah, what do we get instead? Let's see. They're poking. They need a lot more than that if they want to get a kill here. Who do you pyro? Zagara and Ana, I suppose. You definitely don't pyro Maiev. You don't pyro Stitches. I think those are your two options. Okay, Judgment is gonna make this a little bit easier. But look how far back Zagara is right now. She is not getting anywhere near this. She knows. Yep, there we go. Judgment is in, but that was too much. That was well played by Zagara. So she baited out the Judgment. They were really, really hoping to grab her. But instead, Madron kept himself far removed from them. And that was just the perfect play. No problems for him to get away there. So yes, nicely done. Creep tumors at least got removed. Cooldown lost, so that's a little bit annoying. But it's nothing too crazy. They have it at 40 seconds now. They are hoping for soaking at the top. Oh, what an entomb! Boss mode! Holy shit! Richu! What the hell? That was a boss mode entomb right there, and then the follow-up. Check that one out. God, that was sexy. Ah, you might not see it because of the overlap. Down here we get a pyro kill. Boom. Goodbye. So yeah, pyro kill against Zagara, as we just had a godlike entomb by Leoric. So this one, damn. That got real quickly. Love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, that entomb was just fantastic. I mean, pitch perfect. And then the follow-up from Karazim as well. Kalthas dies. I think he got eaten by... Yeah, he got eaten by Stitches and escorted behind the gate. But also, Zagara, the Pyro Blast, that just absolutely wrecked her. So another good one. And that is Disgusting, taking a bit of an advantage now for themselves. They have level 13. They're working on the fort in the middle. Kalthas dying obviously didn't really help their cause. Good dodge here. So they were able to go through the wall and take the fort down to half HP. Not much more than that. Let's not forget that Tyrael has Judgment. So don't think they can turn it here, but always an option. Trying to go for the next camp. Kalthas is still not done, by the way, with this quest. So Kalthas is currently working on that as we speak. So he's still trying to get those stacks together. And is now 19, so he's missing one, and then he's going to be fine. Stitches has 10% movement speed at this point, thanks to the 22 stacks that he has on his Hungry for More. And obviously it's boosting his hit point pool very nicely as well. With that, we now have him at an additional 550 HP. Devour is going to be very nice for him, the higher this gets. Yeah, they try and take the camp. Maiev went a bit too early. Yeah, 7-sided. That didn't do a whole lot. Yeah, they kind of messed that up a bit. So one kill is already out. Could get Judgment, maybe even on Maiev. Honestly, I was thinking he would try and turn it around and get a kill, but that didn't happen. Instead, we now have Karazim attacked. He's trying to move out. Twice on Tyrael. Uh-oh. He saved him once, but he can't save him twice. Or can he? No, he can't. Karazim is still dead. Alright, now that we tortured that pun, we have a very nice move here. Oh! Boom. Get wrecked! They're taking down Sonya. The bottom fort is still dropped, though. I would still call this a win for the GTFOs. But... yeah, at least there were a few kills that came through for Disgusting. So top side, Leo, he's still getting side lane pressure and experience for them, since they are falling a little bit behind in XP and also in talents. Since he can also now push the top fort even further. That's kind of nice. I mean, if he can get the next minion wave as well, they might get the entire fort here. There's not too many heroes that are moving top side. Okay, Maiev is finally making a move, but he should easily be able to get away from her. So the fort won't fall, but it is very, very low. And Leo should be absolutely fine. Now, they are still playing around the bot lane. Kalthas has now gone into the Ignite and the Pyromaniac. Gorging, I mean, I don't really think this is going to do too much for them. Is he going to get out? Well, maybe not. He's trying to. Okay, Tyrael escapes. 7-sided strike was used down here at the bottom. But Lavakal is now dead. Was for a second literally on 1 HP. Tyrael is now trying to instead attack the structures. He's like, alright, well, I might not make it, but I'm at least going to do that. Leo at the... oh my god, that hook! That hook gave him a new haircut. 100%. That hook definitely gave him a new haircut. Leo now moved back. They're already attacking the keep down here. This game is kind of awesome. It's all over the place all of a sudden. Started off a little bit slow, but now we have kills. We have, like, judgment on Anna. And she's dead. Anna down. Big entomb again here from Leo. Oh my god. No follow-up for a kill, but he definitely slowed them down. And now they can try to go for soaking over here. Maiev also got close to a kill on Lunara. Instead, Soaking is still getting murdered. Tyrael didn't show any mercy here. So that's 2 kills for Disgusting, and they took the top fort out. Yeah, another hook, another gorge. I don't think that Leo's going to be too impressed here. Not really the one that you want to kill. Even if you do, what does it give you? Little. So yeah, he dies. 7-sided gets used again. They are trying for Lunara, and she is channeling. Too soon? Not too soon? She gets it. Dragonite, number 2. Pyroblast against Zagara didn't do enough. She, by the way, went obviously Spell Shield on level 13 to adjust for the Pyroblast, but now the fort in the middle is gone. So yeah, the game is all of a sudden taking place all over the map. We saw the fort at the top lane dropped early. Now the Dragonite has just finished off the fort in the middle. And as the team is pushing the bottom of the map, we have another attack coming. Stitches is doing his best to deal with this, but it's tough. Yeah, they're struggling here a bit. 18 kills to 5. They want to have the last and final fort of the blue team, and there's a good chance that they're going to get it. Especially with the Dragonite wasting so much of their time in the middle. But since Sonya is now committing to the fight down here, they're most likely going to retreat. The hook this time, not connecting. They're trying with Judgment. Another murder entomb, by the way. Judgment wasn't even needed. But these entombs that we're seeing in this game from Richu are just out of this world. Kel'Thas dies regardless, though. Even with the entombs, we weren't able to save him. More against Lunara. Tyrael dies. Can he get some explosion value? They go for Granny. And she's dead. Tyrael and, well, there's Leo also falling. Tyrael, Kel'Thas, and Leo are all gone. Grandma has been eliminated, but so was Kharazim. So this leaves us with a 4 versus 1. Only Lunara is still there. Zagara isn't with the team. They might still get the keep down here at the bottom. The GTFOs, they're just going straight in for structures. They want the keeps. Lunara has to be careful that the hook is not coming through. Soaking, spin to win. Keep is not looking great though. So yeah, spear attempt. Hook also thrown out. Either way, they're gonna get the keep. Yes, Leo is back, but it's not gonna matter. They might lose a hero, yes, but they are still taking the structure, and that's absolutely worth. So Lunara is low, sorry, not Lunara. Sonya is low, but she gets away. So all of a sudden, it's a weird situation. The red team is behind the experience by half a level. They don't have the level 20. Top lane gets opened up. 2 forts are gone on the blue team side, but they opened the bot lane. So bot lane has been opened up completely, and they can go for core whenever they win another big team fight. 32 stacks for Stitches. So yep, hit point pool kind of fine. If he gets another 8 together, then he is at 15% extra movement speed. 31 stacks for Kel'Thas. Damage output, just to put this a little bit in perspective, 38k for Lunara. We got 51,000 for Sonya. Judgment is upgraded. Buried Alive is of course a total game changer now. If he hits the entombs the same... Like, if he hits the same quality entombs that he did the entire game, then they're gonna get wrecked. Yeah, and there's already the entomb, 7-sided. They really want the kill and they just don't really get it. They try to set everything up together and it wasn't enough damage. Instead, Tyrael is in real trouble now and he dies. Tyrael is gone, tries to put pressure on Anna, which worked, but they still have to deal with Sonya, who is murdered, and Kel'Thas gets out. What are these fights now all of a sudden? It's bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. The Entomb and Judgment combos that we're seeing from Disgusting are just simply not working for them though. They're struggling to have an impact with them. They're using cooldowns, but they don't do enough for them. Now we have the objective back up, and it is a 4 versus 4, but it is such an interesting game now. GTFOs, they're fighting for survival in this series. Now, this is only their second series in the group, but they want to make that reverse sweep happen. The death of Stitches is putting a very, very big dent into those plans, though. Yeah, now we could see another Dragon Knight. There's always the danger of Disgusting losing a team fight and then their core getting attacked through the bot lane. But at least for now, this is alright. Nobody in the middle. Leo has to retreat, might even fall, and is able to walk away from the sleep dart. Nobody was in the middle to get the DK. And Lunara, she's moving top. She knows that Tyrael and Leo are both coming. Judgment! And it gets dodged. It's a low cooldown. He upgraded on level 20. Cooldown reduction by 40 seconds is making it much, much easier for him to do this stuff. Yeah, that was important gravity lapse. Yeah, if you get caught by Sonya, then you're in trouble. So they try for Sonya again, and she's alive! I don't know how, but she's alive. That was something. The Dragon Knight is still taken, and boy, look at Zagara. Another Entomb. This is insane. Pyro value. Whoop, whoop. There we go. Zagara is dead, but Richu, for me, is the man of the game. The amount of glorious Entombs that we saw are absolutely incredible. Kel'Thur's dying after being gorged by Stitches. That is a problem, though, because it means that they won't be able to... well, I was about to say won't be able to end the game, but they might not even be able to take the keep. So, yeah, that is looking rough now. They didn't get nearly as much nerves of steel from Leo. Did you see this? He didn't even care. He was just sitting there, just like, nah, that's not gonna hit me. Calculated. Absolutely calculated. Ana gets attacked. The disc is out right away. Beautiful move by Maiev. Maiev is making some sick moves as well. Leo is dead. He'll be back. What about Ana? Can they at least kill her? Doesn't seem like it. And Tyrael has to retreat. There's catapults on the red team's core, by the way. The red team is going to lose points on the core, and not only a few. So that's 10 points gone. That's 20 percentage points gone, and now they're down to 74. That one hurt. And Tyrael is still trying to escape. Something that is likely not going to happen. Well, actually, now I think he's going to get away. Yeah, I think now he is going to make it. Now they got vision, and Maiev is still trying to come in from the side. But yeah, she's not going to grab him. This game is wild. This game is honestly wild. Alright, Pyro's back, Leo is back, 74%. And it seems like they're going to try and end down here. Which means the keep is now going to fall to the catapults, very likely. That's likely going to happen. Alright, once again, here comes the play. Yeah, they're trying. And even after the Gorge, it didn't do enough. Gorge, 7-sided, and Leo's dead again. That's what they needed. Especially Sonya is crushing it, by the way. She's always such a huge pain in the butt. It seems like this might just be the end of the game. The top keep, it should be falling. I actually think the minions are going to save it. But Zagara is now dead. That was a big one, but losing Kharazim and Tyrael is obviously an utter disaster here. So yes, the hits keep coming. I don't think that Lunara can save it alone. Yeah, especially not like this. Nicely done. 30 kills in total, 20 kills to 10, and this is maybe the start of a reverse sweep as the GTFOs win Dragonshire. First map for them in this best of 5 series. Really well done. GG, well played. Alderac Pass, game number 4. Guys, I'm happy that we're here. We go into at least a 4-mapper, maybe even 5, which of course now means 40 heroes are banned. 40 heroes are unavailable for Alderac Pass. The GTFOs have finally got a win. They deserve it for sure. They played extremely well on the last map. And these, honestly, there were so many good plays on both sides. We saw some incredible entombs, but then these hooks that came through time and time again. Maiev played really well, some clutch discs. Ana also saving the day more often than once, and a very, very good series. So now that we're headed for the second match point for Team Disgusting, question is, of course, outside of which heroes are being played, is there some kind of strategy maybe that the red team has prepared? This is the one thing that I'm really looking forward to when we're talking about the playoffs in particular, because now that the teams have played through the group stage and also had time to practice a little bit, they can really develop some cheese strategies where they can say like, okay guys, game number 3, game number 4, let's see what we do there. Let's see what kind of options are still out, but we have that idea that we want to come in with. So that's something that I want to see. Are there a couple of cheeses? Is there at any point that they're throwing out a triple quad support with Vikings again, which we've already seen? Is there a focus on Shogal at some point? Are they going to try and go for some late game stacking? There's a lot of stuff that can really be done in that context, and maybe not so much in the group stage, but I would expect that some teams are going to take inspiration from the games that they see here and then try and apply it to the playoffs. Where granted, it's going to be a little bit more tight in the space that you have to execute these plays. The margin for error is smaller, but it could still be super interesting. So Gul'dan gets picked first here in Alderac. I actually have to think real quickly. So what else are we going to get here? Because Alderac is a big map. The Hogger has been banned for that very reason. It's again a map where globals can have a massive impact. But there's certain heroes we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen any kind of Abathur play, so you could cheese with Abathur a little bit. Oh, Morales Reyna? That's usually the beginning of a backdoor comp. Now there is no Tyrael here. So if you wanna have the... Okay, so there's multiple ways to play this, obviously. You can simply go Stim Drone. And Reyna is going to be a thankful recipient of that particular ult and is going to just rattle away. Or you can go Medivac and keep yourself the option open to at some point go into the opponent's backline. Gul'dan, Auriel and Zul. Zul for rotational plays. That is dangerous already. That's a very dangerous start. And it's also a bit of ban bait that we're getting from them. But yeah, we have some really interesting choices. Shogal gets banned. That was a good choice. I mean, again, you already have Zul for the rotation, so that Foreman would have been powerful. But the draft of the blue team is interesting. Normally, when you go for backdoor composition, as I just said a second ago, you normally use Tyrael, right? So you want to have sanctification. But you can technically try and do it without it if you just use the proper moments. I just don't think that they're going to do that. Because they are a team that are normally trying to play a more straight-up game. And I would be shocked to see them attempt that. Especially in the context of Gul'dan being here. But look at this. Azmodan banned out is smart. You know why Azmodan gets banned? Azmodan gets banned because of the Demonic Invasion, more so than anything else. He adds a few more things, but Demonic Invasion has... Azmodan Demonic Invasion has been played for a very short period, I think a year ago, by Dino and a few others, where they just were playing on the side lane, using Demonic Invasion to take structures down on Alderac Pass. Now, if you combine that with Morales and her going Medivac, you all of a sudden have a chance of them just really trying to take these structures down with only 1-2 heroes. So, I don't think that we are going to get a full backdoor play, especially with what they have here. But they could on level 10 decide that they want to have the option to make plays with the Medivac on a very big map. Because as I said, globals are really powerful here, even if you don't only want to use it for backdooring. But you could still use the Medivac to make some very sneaky plays. But you could also go Stim Drone. Jimmy is on your side. They got Ragnaros, so a Lava Wave is a choice that is definitely a decent one. We get a Gazlo. The Gaz Lord is in the house, everybody. And we got Mal'Ganis. Yeah, it gets wild. Map number 4 is definitely getting very interesting now. The final pick for Claw Destroy. They need a little bit more damage. Could be another frontliner though. Triple melee with that lineup would definitely work. Or what's the plan?
Here we go.
Valera? What? Just to put this in context, Valera is shit. Valera has been played one time and she lost. Valera hasn't been played in any competitive tournaments over the last 5 years or so. So picking her now is super interesting. But, well, let's see if it works out for them. Alderac Pass, everybody. Let's go. Alright, we're ready for a spicy one. The GTFOs on the left side with Soaking on Ragnaros, Fish on ETC. Hunter, Hogger, and Morales. We got Madron and Reyna, and the absolute curveball, Cloud Destroy on Valla. Now we're going to talk about her in a second, but let's introduce the red team first. We have them with Richu on Gazlo, Itrex on Zul, twice on Mal'Ganis, Lavakal on Oriel, and Alvarus on Gul'dan. So the context here is pretty simple. A lot of people, when they are watching Meta Madness, they're always arguing and making, you know, theoretical points in favor of heroes that they see in their quick matches or in Storm League. Guys, the shit show that happens in Blizzard's own matchmaking doesn't really matter. Any hero can be played there, especially if you have a good player playing them. That doesn't mean anything. We're talking tournaments. The entire idea behind Meta Madness is to shake the tournament meta up, where the same picks are played over and over. And Valla as a choice right now is interesting in the context that, first of all, she is, when we're talking about traditional tournament meta, absolutely irrelevant. She's dog shit. Absolute dog shit. Never gets played. I haven't seen her in a real competitive game in, I think, the last 5 years or so, 4 or 5 years. But if you put her in the context of Meta Madness, she has seen a few games where she was played late when there's a lot of heroes banned, which is the case here. 40 heroes have been removed. The problem is that she never really seems to win. Her win rate is absolutely abysmal, even in that context. Now, she can obviously do some work and really snipe. The problem is that most teams are very good countering her and targeting her down quickly. So we have some squishies on the red team that can fall victim to her. But at the same time, I would have assumed that they go for some other heroes first. So I'm super curious how this is going to work out for them. I would love game number 5. Absolutely love it. But Valla was definitely not the pick that I saw coming here. But if they can make her work in this context, that's great. I mean, this is why we have Meta Madness, right? You want to see heroes that normally don't see any play, because with 40 heroes banned, some picks become more viable and become an option that would have been absolutely disregarded previously. And she is definitely a prime example for exactly that. So, yeah, let's have a little bit of a look on how this is going to work out. The repeated offense here. And, yeah, Gul'dan apparently dropped. So, he's gone. But I'm sure he's going to be back soon. And then we're going to go straight into game number 4 again and see which team claims it. Maybe we're going to get a full 5 map out of this series. And we're back, and I also adjusted the score on the side of GTFO. That one was still from the previous game, apologies for that. But yes, so now we are going to grab with level 4 also, well, the first objective is going to spawn soon. So level 4 is announced, we got the repeated offense over here, we got the jailers. Typical builds here on the side of Gul'dan. Valla went into the crippling poison and the relentless strikes here. We got a blast wave focus from Baby Ragnaros. Still absolutely glorious. They should have sold some Baby Ragnaros merch with Heroes of the Storm. That would have been pretty amazing. I could have financed HGC. Well, Jimmy, on the other hand, he went into the Exterminator. That's also pretty interesting. Exterminator on Jimmy. That helps him with the camp, but also the bosses. It's not necessarily what I expected them to go for, though. So they are focusing a little bit what they are apparently trying to do with him. They could have gone into stacking if they wanted to play for the late game. They could have tried to play it around slows. I mean, they still have ETC, so there's someone that could assist him. But going Exterminator already means that we might see maybe even a medevac double boss play from them. That could be a thing. I mean, we'll figure it out slowly and steadily as we continue here, but there's definitely an option for them to try and cross the map quickly with a medevac instead of just simply going for the stim drone. I talked about this during the draft, but on a map where you don't have any globals, using Morales to global up your entire team is not necessarily a dumb idea. So, yeah, bit of an attack here in the middle of the map. Level 7 talents are kicking in for both. Camps are, of course, up, the prisoner camps, but nobody has really made a move for that yet. They are trying to get aggressive here. And obviously, having good old Gazlo with the rocket boots, rocket socket, and the Master Blaster is also a pretty sweet choice. You have definitely some nice tools for all occasions here. And these are sweet plays, I like it. So, good idea by Zul and Gazlo to work in tandem to control individual heroes a little bit further. Even the play now for the prisoner camp that they're making. Gazlo has pushed the top lane out. Morales in a bit of trouble, and they get the initial progress on the camp. So they are looking fairly good on this. With Ragnaros zoned away, Itrax easily dealing with the wave clear. But this is very, very good progress on objective number 1 for them. And Ragnaros gets zoned, is trying to engage. Morales doing her best. So they have to let this go eventually. Nice whip. Really good reaction from Lavakal. That was important. Just as ETC was trying to move in and start the engage. But instead he gets instantly cut short. So no chance for him. Not a single kill yet either. Camps get taken again here. Yep. Yeah, it's a spicy one. Again, like, you're in a situation where the GTFOs would love the second win and it would put enormous pressure on Disgusting if after a 2-0 lead they find themselves on the 5th map. But that's what Disgusting is, of course, trying to prevent from happening. This is the last situation that they want. They want to end this right now, not risk anything, not end up in the 5th game. But can they do it? They are very aggressive around the early game. They're getting good damage against ETC, and their fish is dead. Okay, the fish is gone, and this is objective number 1 successfully claimed by Disgusting. There's absolutely no time anymore to counterplay that, not after ETC died. So we have some Raiders unleashed. Good wave clear by Zul, and he's just crushing that lane. Same also for the Robo-Goblin Gazlo. He's been doing extremely well and can be used also later on against the bosses, for example. Aegis is in, they have their level 10. It's a slight gap in experience. I'm not sure how much they can exploit that. They're trying, but it's only a little bit. So, yeah. Off we go. With level 10, we get the Cloak of Shadows, Lava Wave, big map, so that was to be expected. Seen a lot of Lava Wave already. Ragnaros can Lava Wave one lane and then use Molten Core on the other. In the middle of the map, that might be a fort that gets dropped here. And honestly, Zul at the top is also a good chance. Ragnaros uses the Molten Core. Mosh Pit gets interrupted. Here, Zul gets dropped by Valera in the 1v1 at the top lane. Nicely done by him. Down here, though, Ragnaros had to retreat, and he's very, very low. Very low, but he is still getting away. Another, like, I gotta say, Lavakal, I said it before, if you're an Oriel player that is that good with a whip, there's only 2 explanations. Either you are an archaeologist, and you have a hat lying around somewhere, or you have a private sex dungeon somewhere. It's one of the 2. Nobody is that good with a whip without practice. So, sex dungeon, archaeologist, I don't know which one it is. Either way, that man knows how to handle one for sure. This is the 2nd or 3rd time that he just homes in on ETC as he's trying to engage and shuts him down. Very impressive. Absolutely on point. And I'm sure that if he continues to do that, Fish is going to be very frustrated around this. So yeah. So here we are. Soaking is getting healed by Morales. The pocket healer. Hunter Orc doing his thing. Not a single fort has been destroyed with the first objective, but they dropped all of them very low. So it should only be a matter of time until they can do some real damage here. Nice stacking from Gul'dan too, by the way. He's at 31 stacks. Blast Wave is out, rest of the team is in. There's the whip, he hits it again, and that's the next kill. Ragnaros is gone, and now they can go for the boss. Rocket and Socket, the Gas Lord. The Gas Lord is in their house. Valera is missing, and this boss is going to be taken 100%. There's no way they can deal with this. Not without Valera, not without Ragnaros. They didn't go for the boss at the top. They can't trade. So this is a freebie for Disgusting that is going to help them down here. Ragnaros with the Lava Wave up at the top. So they are going to get some value. That's 2 minion waves that are going to get destroyed there. Down here, the boss is going to move through. And in the meantime, the team is moving into the middle to do their thing here. There's this next minion wave, and it gets destroyed as well. Good value, but again, the fort here is down. Next objective is up. They could rotate towards the top now, and down at the bottom of the map, Jimmy's doing his best to save them another fort, but as you can already tell, it's not going to work. 2 forts destroyed, therefore. They try to go towards another team fight that they're forcing, and what a horrify! Damn, son, Morales without a chance. That one was well played. With the turret soaking the fort shots, they're getting another one, so the entire outer ring of defense has now been destroyed. Since Morales is gone, they're getting another boss for free. You gotta give Disgusting credit. They played this perfectly. They got a kill on Ragnaros, had a few heroes at the bot lane, and said immediately, guys, let's go boss. Valeera is topside, we have vision. Ragnaros is dead. It's a 5-man versus 3 on the boss, so let's claim it. They grabbed it, and then they just played around them perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. Another pause over here from the same team, so I'm not sure if Alvarez is again having problems, but he already dropped once earlier, so I hope this is not going to be a thing throughout the game. Because if it is him again, indeed, then that would indicate that he has some problems with his connections, and I seriously hope that we are not going to have problems through that. Because the position for them right now is really good. It doesn't look like it when you're looking at kills only with a 3-1 and 14-14, but then on the minimap, of course, it is all forts destroyed on the blue team. This is their big opportunity here, trying to take the prisoner camp and claim the objective. So, Disgusting, they have to think a bit about how they want to do this now. The boss is about to be taken any second. So, what's the next play? Do you just ignore the objective because you think you're not making it there in time? Or do you instead just say, okay, we're going to try and push with the boss? Very likely, they're going to try and come over here and negate that and then take the objective themselves. But they definitely got to be a bit careful with this. Morales, by the way, I haven't really talked about it, but she went into the stim drone, so we don't see the medevac. We don't have any chance of them to global up the entire team and just play the map. So they have to really play with Jimmy. And I'm a little bit surprised because him going for Exterminator kind of hinted for me that they are more so looking at a macro play and not necessarily using Jimmy as the main damage. They have, of course, some other heroes they can use for that. Valeera, even Ragnaros could be utilized there, but we'll see. For now, Rag is the top damage dealer, so they're trying to interrupt over here, time and time again. 10 seconds left. They're trying to claim it. That's 5 seconds. I think they're going to get it. Objective is about to be claimed. They're doing well in the fight, but they cannot stop the objective. So yes, we are going to get it, the cavalry for the blue team, as the boss is destroying the top wall, partly at least. And also a nice move here to come in with Ragnaros. So one minion wave is getting caught. Another one will spawn as the lava wave travels through the lane. And then they're going to get one more, which we're going to see exactly here. So boom, 2 waves. That gives them experience. It alleviates some pressure from the top lane. Makes it also easier for the cavalry to do some work and maybe take down the top fort. But the play continues in the middle. So Gazlo is dealing with the bot lane. Here in the middle, everybody else is just firing away and taking the objective down. Eeg is used. Good timing. Saving Azul. They saved the fort. Willing to abandon the one at the top. Just meeting the rotation of GTFOs. We have level 16 as an advantage for Disgusting right now. It's still fairly close. So, yeah, pretty close for sure. And, well, let's have a look over here. So, yeah, 16 on both sides. Jimmy by now with the paint them red and the line them up. Full blast wave build again for Ragnaros. Quest nearly completed for Gul'dan. He actually slowed down significantly. He was super quick at the beginning because of the skirmishes that he participated in. But then he slowed down. Now he just needs one more hit and he gets the perfect synergy with his level 16. I mean, you got synergy before that too, but obviously you get way more value after that. So, here we go. And, yep. In the middle, still. Camps colliding. Everybody looking for an opportunity. Objective not up yet, so you can't take that. Boss down here. A minute. Not gonna see any big play around that just yet. But here it is again. We get the quest completed, not only for Gul'dan, but also for ETC. Valla immediately under pressure, and Ragnaros is going for a straight, and they retreat. As always, you can slow down any kind of push with Ragnaros if he's able to get his Molten Core through, and that's exactly what they're doing here. As long as you stay away from the stun, you're in a decent spot. Lava Wave gets good value. Once again, the bigger the map, the better the value. He's focusing nearly entirely on top lane. I don't know why, though. He should have used it at the bot lane, honestly. At the bottom of the map, he would have been able to get a lot more. They could have traveled topside. I think they just don't want to deal with the top lane and focus their play onto the mid and the bottom. But in this case, he would have gotten a lot more through that. So, yeah. Either way, not really doesn't make too much of a difference. We currently have both teams just waiting for an opportunity. Bosses are now coming back up. One is already up on the map. They're trying to go for the camp here. Damage output, 24,000 by Ragnaros, 40,000 by Gul'dan. And as the camp gets claimed by only one team, here's a move for Valla, who's at 21,000 damage. Solid damage from her. Not too shitty. And here we are. Middle of the pack. This one gets retaken. They're trying to push them past now. This camp in the middle is, of course, a little bit of a thorn in the side of GTFOs now. But position gets claimed around the prisoner camp by Disgusting this time, who want to end the series here. They want to win this after 4 maps. They don't want to go game 5. Nah, they want to end it now. Fish with a slide. And again, look at these whips. Look at these whips. Beautiful. And the fish is dead. Tried for the mosh pit. And he got shut down hard. No mosh pit there. Shimi got the stim drone. Doesn't do enough for him. He's sitting at 17,000 damage only. They get kill number 2. Oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Now here they gotta retake this one, but they can also jump into the middle, break through another gate. Yeah, this is tough. Ragnaros is dead, so is ETC, and with Ragnaros down, it means they can't use the Lava Wave at this point. They can't utilize the Molten Core to maybe save themselves some hit points on the keeps. This is tough times for GTFOs. They're really on their last leg here. If they lose this map, then it's over for them in this best of 5 series. They're by no means out of the group yet. This is the second match for the GTFOs, and they won their first one. But this one is looking grim. Disgusting seems to be off to a great start in Group D. Now they take Valla down. The keep in the middle has been demolished. The keep at the top is going to take damage soon since the minions are breaking through and the gate is gone. Level 20 has been reached. Even with a lava wave, I do not think this is going to save the day for them. They can transition to the bot lane if they want to. To be fair, a lot of them are rather low, but there's the Horrify and the kill on Jimmy. The fish is in trouble as well. Ragnaros doing his best, but he gets burned to a crisp with his Molten Core instantly. And now another fort, another keep is about to get dropped, which means that the second armor shield on the boss is removed. Down to a single one, and we haven't even seen the raiders arrive yet. So now with the help of the raiders, they can make their play. They're also trying to take Ragnaros down. This is a disaster. This is game. This can't be salvaged anymore. The red team is showing no mercy. Absolutely no mercy. They're going through the GTFOs here on Alderac Pass like hot butter through cheese. Straight up for the boss. 9 kills, 2-1. And that is victory. They take the series and their first big win in Group D of Meta Madness.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.